Hey, good morning, fam. It's your boy Josh. Man, last night was rough for the NBA, and hard to watch with both games blowing out. But we expected this since both home teams were on 2-game losing streaks, so it was a must-win game. And Finney Smith decided to crush our dreams by starting off hot and then completely fading away. This Mavs team is so different on the road, and like we said before, they play so much better at home, especially these role players. So it's not too surprising. And the fan favorite Jay Crowder went back to his usual form by making one bucket and then breaking the rest, and then eventually fouling out and dislocating his shoulder too. I think he just needed to remind me why he was on my do not play list for the past few years. Today we should have much better games, with one elimination game and a tied 2-2 series. So I expect a close battle in both games. So, let's get hunting. The Bucks at Celtics has a 6-point spread and a 215 implied total. The Bucks have to steal one on the road, and this is going to be their best chance. Giannis will have to go full armor titan mode to carry his team, who have really struggled as a unit without Middleton. So he can't target Giannis' 31.5 points, and his playmaking is always in play, but his supporting cast needs to shoot better, especially from 3. However, that will be tough to achieve on the road. And Drew is crashing the glass and soaking up rebounds, especially since the Celtics are taking so many threes, which lead to long rebounds. Majority of his rebounds are coming from missed threes on both sides of the ball. Brook Lopez has taken over majority of the center minutes as Bobby Portis is barely getting run, so he can target his rebounds in PRA too. And Pat Connaughton has played a key role with Grayson struggling, so he can target his PRA and rebounds as well. But the Titan will be the primary target from the Bucks. The Celtics are back home where we saw them go off from 3 in both home games, so I expect them to chuck it from 3 again today. Horford has been crushing it from 3, and he has been the X factor in this series, so he can target his 2 3-point made and fantasy points. If the threes are falling at home, then Tatum's playmaking should be responsible for a lot of them, so we can target his 5.5 assists. We can also go with his 6.5 rebounds if Robert Williams is out again. Jaylen Brown's 2.5 3-point made will also be a key target. In his first 2 home games, he took 9 to 10 threes. Also keep an eye out for Derek White props. He ended up closing last game and played the entire fourth quarter. His PRA and rebounds will be in play. The Warriors at Grizzlies has a 4-point spread and a 219 implied total. It's win or go home for the Grizzlies. This team is very gritty and they will go down fighting, especially guys like Steven Adams. He showed last game how much of a mismatch he is for this smaller Warriors unit, so his PRA and rebounds will be key targets. We can also consider his first half props too, since he will play most of his minutes in the first half. Tyus Jones played the most minutes on the team and he should play 40 plus again today, so his fantasy points or points will be key targets as well. He will have to carry the load in Morant's absence. And Jaren Jackson was unstoppable last game as he was blowing by Otto and Dre. So if he can stay out of foul trouble, then he should continue to thrive on offense. He also racked up a lot of blocks since he could function primarily as a help defender with Adams' big body eating up the paint. So his fantasy points is in play too. And Desmond Bane is still due for that big game. And I think he could get hot from 3 at home, but it's still very risky with that lingering back injury. And Slow-Mo was giving the Warriors problems with his length and size, so we could consider his fantasy points or rebounds. And Dylan Brooks will play 40 plus minutes, but I don't trust his shooting at all. So maybe his rebounds or assists are the way to go, or just fade. The Warriors are 12-0 in the postseason with Mike Brown filling in as head coach. But Steve being out does hurt the Warriors' flow and mindset, especially coming out of the halftime break. Mike Brown said after the game that he relied on Iggy and Dre to lead the team, but Mike is a great coach with a strong defensive mindset. The Warriors continue to turn the ball over at a very high rate. The Grizzlies' defense without Morant has so much length, which leads to a lot of deflections, which is a big reason why they led the league in deflections this season. The Warriors have coughed up 16, 18, 16, and 18 turnovers in the last 4 games. And now we have turnover props on Prizepicks, so I do like targeting some of the Warriors' turnovers, especially Dre. He draws offensive fouls and will try to force dangerous passes in order to create plays. And Steph is not immune to careless turnovers either, so he can target his 3 turnovers as well. Andrew Wiggins has been so steady and clutch in this series, especially on the glass. He attacks the glass when he sees Steph and Clay chucking it from 3, so he's been racking up the offensive boards. He's a big reason why the Warriors are winning the rebounding battle in this series, so I do like his 5.5 rebounds, and I might consider his 15.5 points too, especially if Steph and Clay go cold again today. And Poole struggled to find open lanes to the basket with all the bigs clogging the paint for the Grizzlies, so he might have to find a shot from deep or drive and kick it out to open shooters, so I will target his 2 3-point made or 4.5 assists. So let's recap our favorite targets so far. First, Steven Adams PRA or rebounds. Second, Jalen's 2.5 3-point made. And third, Tyus' fantasy points. And fourth, Horford's fantasy points or 2 3-point made. And fifth, Tatum's 5.5 assists or 6.5 rebounds. And lastly, Dre's 3 turnovers. And honorable mention, Wiggins' 5.5 rebounds. One of the hardest things to do in the league is to close a team out. So I think the Grizzlies will go down fighting, and I would not be surprised if they pull off the win today. I'm excited for both of these games, as they should continue to be gritty, close battles. Come join us later today at 4 p.m. Eastern for the live stream. Me and Gunn will hunt these props down together, and eat some peppers along the way. So as always, best of luck everyone. I hope you crush it, and take care.